It was a clutch championship performance for Paul Whibley the last time we went GNCC racing. And their rider on the number 2 Kawasaki quickly grabbed the lead and pulled away from his rival Josh Strang. Strang tried to close the gap, but it was too little too late. Whibley extends his points lead. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of RacerTV. The superstars of off-road racing are here for the Can-Am Grand National Cross Country Series. Caleb Russell, our new champion of the XC2 Lights class. Mike Brown, points leader of the Works Tour out west. And Taddy Blazuziak, points leader of the Enduro Cross Series, here as guest riders. But the real focus is on the championship. And Paul Whibley, let's talk to him. All right, down here in the Geico Monster JG Racing pits with Paul Whibley. It's just another day, right? Just another day at the races?
Another race, yep, that's right.
Yeah, is there any difference today? And I think I can even just see it in the smile. You know something big is coming. You're just going to try to block that out?
Yeah, like I gotta make sure I gotta put in a good result today. I gotta make sure I get up there near the front and if possible win this race. So I gotta take it like every other race and put my best result in.
But this is a big championship. You worked a long time to get here. How hard is that to just ignore it? I mean, you know exactly how hard you've worked and what your goal is, and this is it. It's hard to ignore.
It is hard to ignore, but at the same time, I can't throw it away either. I got to concentrate on what I'm doing and again, like put my best result in.
Okay, so can you win today? You're not going to play conservative. It could be just like Yadkinville.
It could be. Like I think I won here last year. The conditions were a little different. It was a little dusty last year. This year it's kind of more hard pack and after the rain, but it's possible to win here. I'm sure Josh and Charlie and everyone else is going to be pushing for the front and pushing for the win as well, but I'll be doing my best to get up there on top of the podium. Okay, could be a really big day for Paul Whibley, but we're not going to remind him of that. We'll just let him get out on the track. Well, Paul's definitely excited, but with some spoilers in the mix there with Brown and Blazuziak, and of course Mullins, Strang, Canny, and all the other riders who can win races in this tour. It's not going to be so easy for him to wrap up this championship today. He's got to be a little nervous as well. Time to go racing. 3 hours at this ITP Powerline Park GNCC. We are underway. On the outside, that's Batman Ben Bowen's going to try to get it again. No, Thad Duvall grabs the whole shot. You might remember Batman grabbed the start at our race a couple of weeks ago at Unadilla. But it's Charlie Mullins on the Suzuki around the outside, takes everyone down and then nearly goes down himself. Mullins going to hold the lead though. Out into the fields or headed into the woods. Go back to the starting line for XC2. These are the 250cc 4 strokes. And it looks like Caleb Russell, nothing has changed. He's your new class champion. He's going to run out the string at the end of the year. Oh, riders tangling up in the first turn. And Russell though is going to maintain the lead. Jason Thomas, no surprise, up front in the number 2 spot on the Monster Energy Andrews Yamaha. And the rest of these riders choking on some dust. The dust won't be so bad in the fields. It's good news for Corey Buttrick, one of the contenders. He was about dead last coming through. Here it is, Mullins leading the XC1 Pro Class, and that's what we're talking about. A little bit damp back here. Looks like Barry Hawk, Thad Duvall, second and third, and a huge gap back to everyone else. Jim Jarrett, then comes Whibley, Ben Bowens, and then Josh Strang, the man who has a shot at upsetting Whibley in the championship chase. Mike Brown and Nate Canny pretty far back already early on, so they've got their work cut out for them. Kirk Caselli way back in the pack. And here is Glenn Carney on the Husqvarna, the 2-stroke. Got a lot of work to do to try to catch the leaders. Well, how about this? Barry Hawk grabbing the lead here in Ohio. Good to see the 8-time GNCC champion in the lead. He has struggled mightily this year, has had a lot of bad luck. He is out front. Looks like Strang is actually up to the number 2 spot. And not such a good start today for Whibley. He's got a lot of ground to make up. There's Jesse Robinson on the Husaberg. But Barry Hawk showing the short way around the track and pulling away a bit. You got Jarrett and his young teammate Thad Duvall in the number 3 spot. Duvall with the nice fancy boots. Looks good. And there is Whibley in about 5th, back in front of Strang. And then it's Blazuziak and Brown and Canny. So a 3-way duel on KTMs. And Mullins has gone all the way to the back of that. Then we got an Enduro cross section here. be good for Blazuzziak. This is what he's used to. Real slow stuff. Nice job by Hawk to maintain through there. Not so good for his teammate Duval. Man, it is just carnage through here. Look at Blazuzziak. Man, just manages to get in front of Strang, and now Mullins having trouble tangling up with Mike Brown. He gets through. There's Bowens, Batman. Handful of throttle, holds off Brown. This is going to be wild to watch lap after lap. They sprung a surprise on the riders. You don't get to practice or pre-run at GNCC. I don't even know if these riders knew this section would be there. There's Stuart Baylor, 15 years old, in front of Glenn Carney. Hawk continuing to maintain the lead ahead of Jarrett, and Strang now. It has been back and forth with just about everyone except Hawk, who has been pretty solid this first lap. There is Blazuzziak, his GNCC debut. Oh, here's Strang trying to get the lead from Hawk. And you see Blazuzziak right here. He's on a two-stroke. Late entry into this race. He is an enduro cross rider and a trials rider. Back to our leader, Strang. And the fans are pumped as he picks his way through the mud. Handful of throttle, and he is gone and even jumping that little double after this section. So Strang going to try to put in a mad rush early in this race, while everyone else is trying to sort themselves out. Here goes Brown. There goes Blazuzziak, and there's Canny. Canny wants to get around his teammates. Meanwhile, back to XC2. It looks like Jason Thomas has got the lead, and it looks like Caleb Russell has gotten stuck, and he's off the bike. Stay tuned. RacerTV is brought to you by Can-Am, Rocky Mountain ATV MC, Yamaha, and Honda Generators, the official generator of RacerTV. Josh Strang on a roll right now, racing Grand National Cross Country style in the woods of Ohio. Paul Whibley has moved to the number 2 spot. He'll need to beat Strang today, though, to wrap up the championship. If not, it's going down to the final round in Indiana in a couple of weeks. Here's your battle. Jimmy Jarrett, Mike Brown, Taddy Blazuzziak, Nate Kenny, they're all right there. Good to see Blazuzziak up front. And if you're wondering what happened to our early leader, Barry Hawk, as we watched Strang work his way around, literally, that enduro cross section, Hawk got stuck in the mud, got run into by his teammate, Thad Duval, and they're both in trouble, back in the pack. Whibley into the number 2 spot on the Geico Kawasaki. How hard will he push? Will he take chances to try to wrap up the title today or not? And Nate Canny already up to 3rd. We saw him about 15th early. But look at Blazuzziak, the master of the enduro cross. Thought he's going to try to make a pass. He's at least gotten around Brown. Blazuzziak not getting pushed around out here today. And Mullins, who has had a tough time early, ahead of Jarrett, who's still struggling with a bit of a wrist injury. So they have broken away. So is Strang. This is unbelievable. He is riding it like it's a motocross track on the gas in these corners and just continuing to distance himself from Wibbs. There's Whibley, veteran out of New Zealand, and he has just been so consistent this year. That has been the difference. Wins, he and Strang have been about even. But when Strang has bad days, they've been really bad days. Watch Canny trying to get away from Blazuzziak, Brown, and now Mullins has caught those guys. Mullins wants podiums, no doubt. He has been maybe the most consistent rider this year, but he has not had the wins that Whibley and Strang have had. There's Jarrett with a nice new line trying to maintain pace. And the XC2 class, Jason Thomas ahead of Scotty Watkins. And Josh Weisenfeld's good to see him up there. He's a switch from Yamahas to Kawasaki's, and he's up front with the leaders. Haven't seen him run that pace this year. No one's running this pace. Josh Strang on a roll early. Now remember, this is a long race, and Whibley's always strong down the stretch. You got to wonder, is Strang going too hard, too early? Will he get tired? I have my doubts. He's in pretty good shape. Mullins has now climbed to the number 3 spot. Back to the mud on lap 2. Strang is able to jump this, and then he'll upshift, grab a handful of throttle. Will he double uphill? Even scrubbed it a bit at the top. Aiming the bike with the front wheel. Let's see how Whibley handles the section. And he gets on the brakes and does not double, so that'll give you an idea of how fast Strang is going. And a lot of fans down here in this section. Let's see Mullins attack it. He will get up on top of that double jump. Here's Blazuzziak, gets the front end up high. He's a trials rider, that's no problem. Will he double up? Yes, he will.
Got to admit, Blazuzziak's riding well right now. Brown now back in front of Canny, so Canny must have made a mistake. Worked very hard to get to third, and now he's dropped positions to Mullins, Brown, and Blazuzziak. Josh Strang into the pits. No reason to stop for fuel, no reason to stop for goggles. He is all alone right now, and I don't think most of the fans even realize they've gotten to the pits yet. Here's your battle. Mullins has caught Whibley. Whibley was going to ride conservative. It's time to wick it up because the Suzuki man's going to put it to him. Stay with us. RacerTV is brought to you by Can-Am, Rocky Mountain ATV MC, Yamaha, and Honda Generators, the official generator of RacerTV. Man, Josh Strang just putting a hurt on the field today. This is ridiculous effort. This is why you scratch your head so much in this type of racing. Hasn't made changes to the motorcycle, hasn't really done anything different with his preparation, but for some reason today he is just clicking. We got a battle back here, pretty far ways back though. Whibley and Mullins for the number 2 spot, and Mullins has come from pretty far back. Had a tough time on lap 1 in that enduro cross section. Here is Mike Brown on the 311. Brown, a former motocross champ, now races the Work Series, which is more of a desert racing series, but he's from Tennessee, and he likes to race GNCC whenever he has the opportunity. Strang continues on his roll up front, and here is Whibley just trying to duck and dodge and weave Mullins, who is all over him. This is a great battle. And this is not where you want to be if you're Whibbs. You don't want to be pushed like this. He wants to ride conservative, get to the finish. But Mullins is Strang's teammate. He does not want Whibley to be able to ride that way. A little further back, there's Brown. Let's get to our Rocky Mountain spotlight, and we'll go right back to the racing. Rocky Mountain ATV MC stocks a wide variety of fasteners for your motorcycle or ATV. And with the Tusk brand fastener kits, you'll always have the right bolts, nuts, or washers whenever you need them. Start with the Tusk 180-piece metric motorcycle bolt kit for just $29.99. This kit contains the perfect assortment of factory-sized metric bolts, nuts, cotter pins, and washers for late-model motocross and off-road bikes, including Hondas, Yamahas, Kawasaki's, and Suzuki's. Comes in a divided organizer, so you don't have to hunt for the piece you need. It's the perfect companion for any toolbox, and high-quality 8.8 and 12.9 grade bolts are quenched and tempered to ensure durability. It even includes hardware for your frame, plastic, sprockets, carburetor, and everything else you can think of. Then we have the 170-piece European motorcycle bolt kit for $29.99. Contains the perfect assortment of metric bolts, nuts, cotter pins, and washers with factory size and look for late-model motocross and off-road KTM and Husaberg bikes. Comes in a divided organizer, so you don't have to hunt for the pieces you need. It's a perfect companion for any toolbox. And yes, it's high-quality 8.8 and 12.9 grade bolts that are quenched and tempered to ensure durability. The perfect amount of hardware for your frame, plastic, sprockets, carburetor, and everything else you can think of. And you've got the Tusk 60-piece metric motorcycle trail bolt kit for just $12.99. The 60-piece kit contains the perfect assortment of factory-sized bolts, nuts, cotter pins, and washers for late-model motocross and off-road motorcycles, including Hondas, Yamahas, Kawasaki's, and Suzuki's. But the cool part is it comes in a compact container that's perfect to take with you on the trail or to throw in your toolbox. And yes, high-quality 8.8 and 12.9 grade bolts are quenched and tempered to ensure durability. And if you have a Husaberg or a KTM, you want to check out the Tusk 60-piece European motorcycle bolt kit for the trail, retailing for just $12.99. Of course, metric bolts, nuts, cotter pins, and washers with factory size and look for KTM and Husaberg bikes. And you get that compact container that you can throw in your toolbox or in your fanny pack out on the trail. Rocky Mountain ATV MC is the leading online seller of ATV and motorcycle tires, parts, accessories, and apparel with an industry-leading website, free shipping on orders over $99 in the continental U.S., and a huge inventory of in-stock items. You're sure to get the products you need at the prices you want, shipped quickly to your door. Visit their website, www.RockyMountainATVMC.com, or call 1-800-272-6329 to request a free catalog. Well, they say it's Grand National Cross Country Racing, but right now it's just a trail ride for Josh Strang, who's going to pull into the FMF Makita Suzuki pits. buddy's going to give him some goggles. His other buddy's going to put some fuel in the bike. And I bet you he's going to be out of these pits before the second and third place riders are even in. Bumps the bike down to the first gear and takes off. He's gone. And yes, indeed, no one else in the pits. Here come the challengers. Whibley still being pushed by Mullins. Now that's a race right there. Shane Nally, the mechanic for Mullins, going to fuel him up. He's going to take on some new Scott goggles. Meanwhile, down in the Geico Monster Kawasaki pit, Whibley is pitting as well. Careful, folks. These guys are going fast. Looks to me like Mullins going to take the second place spot away in the pits. Now here's what could lead to Strang's undoing. Lap traffic, mud holes, and he's gotten the bike stuck. This is the opportunity and the opening for Mullins, who has now gotten a second, to try to track down his teammate. Then Strang just puts those big long legs to work. He's over 6 feet tall and is able to get through that section. Mullins doesn't get stuck at the beginning at least. And he does a nice job through the middle, and he's got Whibley right behind him, so maybe they've got a chance at rallying and winning this thing after all. Stay with us. RacerTV is brought to you by Can-Am, Rocky Mountain ATV MC, Yamaha, and Honda Generators, the official generator of RacerTV. Josh Strang putting the hammer down, and the fans here in Ohio are pumped. Jason Wygant giving me the call, and this is probably the most impressive ride we've seen all year. Now these two, Charlie Mullins and Paul Whibley, have been pushing each other in a real battle for second. But despite that, they've not made up much ground on the leader, Strang. Jason Thomas has been out front most of the day here in XC2. Our new class champion, Caleb Russell, is out after getting stuck on lap 1. Here's your battle. Taddy Blazuziak has now been caught on the track by Thomas. You also got Jimmy Jarrett right there. Also, Nathan Canny is out of this race. He made a pass on his teammate Mike Brown and then crashed into a tree and hurt his hand. So Canny is out. Here's Strang in the pits for another splash of fuel. He's got such a big lead, there's no reason to take any chances. So they give him another splash of gas to make sure he gets to the finish line. This will help Strang at least stave off the championship celebration with his teammate Mullins in the number 2 spot. And Whibley back here in third. Whibley's not going to catch him through the pits. Suzuki can at least push Whibley back to third. There's Whibbs. No need to stop, says the JG Racing team. Keep going. Whibley taking third. He will give up, I believe that's 9 points to this man Strang. It will still make the championship a virtual lock for Whibley going into the next race, but he will need to get through the next couple of weeks of training and riding healthy and at least show up for the finale at Ironman ready to go to win the title. He's not going to be able to wrap it up today, not the way Strang is riding. And, oh, I was just going to say Mullins isn't going to give him anything, and he just did. Mullins goes down in the same area Strang got stuck 1 lap ago, and now Whibley's struggling through those ruts. And Mullins has another chance to go back after him. Here's the other mud section. Nice job by Strang to get through there. And then will he double uphill? You betcha. It's just been that kind of day for Josh Strang. Let's see how Whibley attacks it. And Whibley goes down. Whibley goes down. He's got some team members there to help get him back up. The damage is done. Mullins able to get by, and if you're Whibley, you've got to hope you don't damage the motorcycle. That's the only thing that could really cost him a championship, and he almost goes down again. Man, maybe he did some damage to the front end of that machine. You fall on the handlebars like that, you can rip out a throttle cable or a clutch cable, and your day could be over. Your season could be over. So good job by Mullins to keep the heat on Whibley to help his teammate Strang out. Mullins back to second. Maybe the handlebars were twisted to the mount, something for Whibbs. Like we said, we saw him almost fall again right after he got back up. But he looks like he's going to make it around. So in the last lap, Mullins will take second. We already knew who was going to win this one. Heck, Strang is giving high signs to the fans on the side of the track. I think it's safe to say that's the most dominant ride of the year. Strang takes it in Ohio. Charlie Mullins, his teammate, takes second. Valuable points for the Suzuki team. Paul Whibley will hold on to third. Let's go down to victory lane and talk to our top riders.
No, I had a good race going. Me and Charlie were racing pretty hard through the middle of the race, and then I just had a few problems going on, and a few things were kind of causing me some issues. So I crashed quite a few times, not just the mud hole, but out on the course. And it was a tough day today. Josh and Charlie are both riding great, so third place isn't too bad. It's obviously not where I wanted to be, but it's good points, and we'll move to the next one at Crawfordsville, and hopefully it all goes good there.
Well done by the guest stars. Brown in fourth, and Blazuziak. A lot of people think the Polish rider is the next Juha Salmon, and he takes sixth. Let's talk to Charlie Mullins.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good race. I felt really good, and I caught up to Whibley. I made some mistakes on my part the first lap, and just kind of passed some riders and caught up to third, and just rode with Whibley for most of the race, and he made a mistake second to last lap, and I got around him, and I just kind of put my head down the last lap and just charged the second. I'm happy with it, but still got one more race to go, so hopefully I can get a win then.
Well, here's the big story. Whibley's points lead is big enough. He only needs a 14th place finish at our next round to win the championship. But Josh Strang doesn't seem too disappointed.
Yeah, that was the rule today. Team's orders, I guess. Everyone's orders was to win, so at least beat Whibley, and managed to do that. I got a halfway decent start and worked my way to the front on the first lap and felt good. So I thought I may as well put the hammer down and race the track, and that's what I did, and I felt good all day, and came away with a good win for Suzuki.
And Jason Thomas romps home the winner in the XC2 Lights class. Well done for the Andrews Monster Energy Yamaha rider. And let's go to our Yamaha race recap. A couple of Yamahas out front. Batman Ben Bowens gets edged by Thad Duvall. Then Barry Hawk would take the lead from both of them. And then Duvall and Hawk would get stuck together in a mud hole. In XC2, the same mud hole would do in Caleb Russell, who was chasing after Jason Thomas. He got stuck. He was out for the day. Before long, you had Thomas out front in XC2 and Strang out front in XC1, and there was simply no competition for them. Good job by the newcomers like Brown and Blazuziak to establish themselves, but everyone's going to have to raise their game to another level to beat the big three. Strang, Mullins, and Whibley have been the guys all year long. Even despite this crash from Whibley, he was able to recover and take the number 3 spot and maintain his points lead heading into the finale. But up front, Josh Strang dominated. For everyone at RacerTV, I'm Jason Wygant. Thanks for watching.